Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leigh Fuge, and in this video we're going to be looking at another guitar from Longbottom Guitars. This is the S4. So as I mentioned in my video for the Longbottom Guitars T16, which is linked in the top corner, Longbottom are a relatively new brand to me. I've been speaking to Karl, who is the main builder and, to my knowledge, the only guy that works at Longbottom Guitars, for a while on Instagram now. And we talked about doing some demos of some of his guitars, and this is another one of his incredible creations. This is the S4, which is obviously a Strat style guitar, but Karl has some very interesting things that he does to the guitars, which we're going to dive into in this video. Before we do that, I do have to say I am getting paid for this video. I'm not getting to keep this guitar, but Karl has paid me to create this video and the other videos you see of Karl's guitars on my channel. This isn't impacting what I think about the guitars at all though. So let's dive into what the S4 is and a little bit about Karl. So Karl is a builder from Yorkshire in the UK. All of his guitars are handmade. They're all built to order. He keeps a very low stock, so most of the guitars are probably built to order, custom builds. This is an incredibly high-end take on a classic design. But the big thing that differentiates Karl from any other Strat builder is the fact that this guitar is completely hollow. So usually a Strat is going to be a solid body guitar, or at a minimum it's going to be slightly chambered. But what Karl does is he actually completely hollows them out. So like the T16 Tele style, the S4 is also fully hollow. So it's incredibly lightweight. It's like the perfect Strat for anyone who wants to stand up and play a Strat for 3 or 4 hours a night. This is great because it's not going to impact your back at all. It does have a trem cavity routing as well, so there is a little bit of a block in the middle to hold the trem cavity tension, but for the most part it is pretty much a fully hollow Strat style guitar. So spec wise on this thing, we've got a one-piece hollowed out swamp ash body, and the top is also another one piece of swamp ash as well. The neck is flame maple. Let me just get that on the other close-up cam so you can see the flame there running right up the neck. It's a nice chunky neck profile. It's a little bit fatter than like a 60s Strat, but maybe not quite as fat and rounded as, you know, perhaps a 50s Strat. It almost feels like on the back of the neck there's almost like a flat peak. So I suppose this is kind of like a D profile neck, I believe. I'm not too up on my neck profiles, I just know it feels pretty good. We've got an Indian rosewood fretboard there. Now the cool thing about this fretboard is Karl, being a builder that sort of customizes everything, he's always trying new and interesting ideas. And he's a big fan of vintage style guitars. Now typically a Strat would have a 7 1/4 radius all the way up the neck. And we do get some builders that twist this up a little bit with compound radiuses, but these often lean more on the flat end of things. Now what Karl does, which I'm a big fan of, is he actually keeps that old vintage radius here at the nut. So at the nut, we've got a 7 1/4 radius, and that flattens out right up to the bridge where we've got a 12-inch radius. So we do have that compound flattening of the neck as we go up, but in a more vintage feel, which is great if you're a vintage style player like I am. So like I said, we've got the Indian rosewood fretboard on top of there with a mother of pearl inlays. We've got Jessica frets on top of this thing as well. And it is a 25.5-inch scale length, so for all the existing Strat players, you're going to feel at home on this thing straight away. Electronics wise, we've got a set of the Radioshop Vintage 63 Special single coil pickups there. We've got CTS pots with oil and paper capacitors, 5-way switch, I'm not sure what make the switch is, pure tone jack, we've got a wood tone trem, a bone nut, and some Goto tuners there at the top as well. Let's get a look at those in the close-up cam. They're the vintage Strat style Goto tuners, non-locking, and like I said, like the bone nut there as well. In the video I did for the Longbottom T16, I mentioned that Karl names all of his guitars after rally cars, and this one is no different. The S4 takes its name from the Lancia Delta S4, so if there's any rally car fans out there, you may notice a connection between this guitar and that car as far as name goes. I don't know if that car looks like this guitar at all. I'm not a car expert, but this is a very nice looking Strat. So if the car looks half as good as this, then it's definitely a winner. So I'm going to plug this thing in now and we're going to take a listen to how it sounds. So I'm going to be going through the Blackstar Studio 10 6L6 that you can see behind me over there, which is running clean at the moment. That is mic'd with a Lewitt Audio LCT 440 condenser mic, and you're hearing spring reverb from the Surfy Industries Surfy Bear Classic spring reverb tank. I've also got my Cherrytone Centura switched on for just a clean boost at the front end of the amp. I will switch some drive pedals on later on in the video, but for now let's start with the clean tones. I'm just going to play a bit, move through the 5 pickup positions, because on a Strat style guitar we've got the usual adornments. We've got the down position, which is just the bridge, the second position, which is the bridge in the middle, third position, which is just the middle, fourth position, which is middle and neck, and fifth position, which is just the neck. So I'm going to play a bit and move through those 5 pickup positions on the clean channel. So it delivers all the classic chimey Strat style tones you'd expect. I particularly like the position 4 set in there. It's got that nice top end sparkle that sometimes gets lost in that position. It retains that sort of bell-like, slightly out of phase thing, but it actually keeps it nice and full sounding at the same time. So yeah, I'm a big fan of these pickups in this guitar. I think the hollow body aspect of this definitely gives it a little bit more of an airy sound as well, kind of like the way an ES335 behaves, because even though a 335 and a Les Paul may be seen as similar guitars, there's definitely a tonal difference there because of the extra air in the body, and I think that's definitely happening here as well with the Strat. So now I've got the Analog Man King of Tone switched on for some crunch, so I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to play, move through all 5 pickup positions. So these Radioshop pickups definitely handle gain well, they keep their clarity, and you can really still hear the characteristics of the guitar, which is very nice. You can still hear that chiminess coming through. Now I'm going to stack another gain stage on top just to see how this thing handles an additional level of gain. So on top of the Analog Man King of Tone, I've now got the MXR Timmy stacked as well. So same thing, I'm going to play and move through all 5 pickup positions. So there you go, there is the Longbottom Guitars S4. That is a really cool take on the Strat design, I think. I think having that hollowed out body definitely gives a different sort of texture to a conventional Strat tone. Even with the gain cranked, I actually found that in the room, this certainly added to the clarity of the notes. Now I hope that has come across on the video as well, but I definitely think in the room when you crank the gain, those single coils definitely do not bring any mud into the equation. They sound super clear, super crisp all the way through. I did actually forget to mention one really cool feature that Karl does add, which is this neck heel. So this is actually something I should have mentioned in the specs. He does this on all his bolt-ons that I've seen so far, which is a deep heel. So the actual heel of the neck is actually thicker than the bit of the body that it connects to. The reason for this is the screws in the back actually go into the neck deeper, which actually pulls the neck tighter into the neck pocket, which then gives you more sustain and more kind of vibration transfer. So these are great, well thought out instruments, incredibly well built, and they sound awesome as well. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of the sound of a hollowed out Strat. I think it's definitely a bit different to a conventional Strat, but it's a lot of fun and there's a lot of great tone in there. There's also some links down below where you can check out Karl's guitars on his website and his socials. So please go hit those up as well and check out the stuff that Karl is doing. Like I said, let me know what you guys think of this hollowed out S4, and don't forget to check out the other videos that I've done for Karl's guitars as well. There's the Longbottom T16 and the Longbottom 037, which are also up on the channel as well. While you're down there leaving a comment, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks so much for watching.